Squatters. Welcome to sunny Northamptonshire. Beautiful today. Very hot. Did a slightly earlier shift today, so been able to get down to the allotment nice and quick. And well, I think Gilly's enjoying it down here. Yeah. Anyway, today I thought I'd try and lighten up a little bit rather than be quite so serious. Of course, the first thing I do is open up the doors to what we call the cabin, the big shed here, and discover that there's a wasp's nest that's just been created in there. So I've gone in there, knocked it down, not got stung. I'm staying clear for the minute, even though I do really want a cup of tea. But yeah, I think I'd rather wait for the cup of tea than get stung. Apparently they should leave the area around about an hour, so we'll see. So one of the things we did on the last episode was put in the white onions and red onion sets that we'd been growing in the greenhouse. Now, of course, next to those I'd said that there was one lot of spring onions and that there was another bed with leeks growing. Unfortunately, none of them have actually grown. I suspect that it's really just down to rubbish soil. So just here is the bed for the leeks. This one, with some weeds in, is labelled up and is ready for the ones that we're growing in the greenhouse just over there. However, this one is supposed to be sprouting lots of seeds or seedlings. Other than that weed down there, there's absolutely nothing growing in there. But if you look at that soil, or that manure, as I discussed it last time, it's very, very solid, very dry, very lumpy. So I'm not surprised, really, that nothing's been growing up through it. So what I'm going to do is give it a little dig over, and I'm going to chuck a bag of compost down on it. When I've done that, I'm then going to sow some new leeks. I'm also going to do the same round here in this one where there's supposed to be spring onions, and you can see the onion sets there, which, as you can see, doing pretty well. Let's have a quick look in the greenhouse while we're here. So the peas are going nicely. As you can see, they've gone a little bit funny at times, simply because I think they overheated, and it turns out that my auto opener has sprung a leak, so it's no longer working. So I've jammed that window open a bit better. Sweet corn's doing really well in the corner there. Various different cabbages. As you can see, like on this one, these are its sprouting, or what is known as its seed leaves. As you can see on all of them, they've got funny shaped seed leaves, but then they start getting the more cabbage shaped ones afterwards. Calabrese looks very similar. Loads of lettuce growing. That looks looking really good, actually. Nasturtiums and marigolds, a lot of which I actually plan to plant out today. And look, peppers, they are actually growing. Got some grafted cucumbers. If I'm honest, they look rubbish. However, the peppers that came with them look brilliant. So, can't win them all. Lots more cabbage, cauliflowers, calabrese. So these ones are plugs that I ordered. Those are the two cauliflower that have survived out of an entire pot. Again, I think because it just got too hot in here. And the leeks that have survived aren't that great. I've got more on order though, so that should be fine. Padron peppers, nothing's come up. These sweet peppers, they are growing, along with these sweet peppers. So we're getting there. Currently 31.8 degrees in here. That's hot. So the nasturtiums and marigolds are going to be going down this inner edge, and on this side here. Whereas on this side, that's where we're going to put the peas in. So I might, if I can get away with it, do them again today as well. That way they can pop up and start climbing over this archway, which hopefully will look really nice. So yeah, I'm going to get on with getting some of this soil down and start putting down the seeds. Okay, so these spring onion seeds, supposed to be 1.5 centimetres deep, about half an inch. Allow 8 inches between rows and water the soil first. So, what I'm just doing, just create a rough trough for them to sit in. You can see how solid this stuff's got. Just where it's dried out in the sun. Not brilliant, unfortunately. There we go, that's 3 rows. Let's water them down first. This is just to make sure that the ground's nice and moist. And now I'm going to put the compost on. Of course, if you do it this way, you've got to remember where you just put those rows. So now one was there. One was there. And one was down here. So that way the manure is only just below the compost. So it should be nice, good stuff. In fact, there's some compost already, some of the manure already. Try and even that out a bit. And we'll open these ones up. These ones are Mr. Fothergill's onions, spring evergreen bunching. You do seem to get a fair amount in there, so thankfully, because these are ones that bunch together and being spring onions, you don't actually have to worry about thinning them out later on. There we go. So now I'm just going to slightly cover that up, and hopefully with this lighter compost we'll get a slightly better germination rate of 0, or than 0 should I say. Fingers crossed. So I'm just going to water them again. Thankfully the compost is actually quite moist already. It's not dry, not claggy or anything like that. And hopefully somewhere between 14 and 21 days we should see some results. As you can see, my rows were really nicely evenly spaced. So down in this bed we've got the 3 rows of spring onions now to match in with the rest of the onions. And in this bed is where we're going to have the carrots and parsnips, both of which we're doing from tape this year to give those a go, see if they're any good. So created 2 troughs already. Now going to water them, cut the tape, lay it down, cover it up. So here I am watering, making these troughs just damp. They don't need to be soaking wet, but damp enough that the tape material will stick. Because the last thing you want is it all flying away when you cover it up, or while you're trying to cover it up. So let's have a look at this then. Like I say, first time I've ever used this stuff, so looks a bit like a bandage. I believe that the side up is the side that's got the writing on. Let's see how much this I'll need. Yeah, I reckon to about there. Let's get that first one down there. This stuff's a bit like toilet paper. It's very thick toilet paper. The way that there's been all this panic buying recently. I wonder if there'll be any of this stuff spare. And then what I'm going to do is just cover it ever so gently. Any large bits like this, just going to try and break up a bit. Keeping stains away, of course, if you can. In theory, this is also giving me some beautifully straight lines. Of course, I'm not expert, so like I say, it is all theory at the minute. So I want to measure that roughly again. This is really like toilet paper. Start laying that down. Now you are supposed to get a much better germination rate with this stuff. We'll see. By the looks of it, not much left to go to toilet with, is there? Let's cover all this up as well. One's great there. Yeah, so a tiny little bit left. Then I'm going to give that another water. So in this leek bed, I've done exactly the same as I did for the spring onions. What I meant to do with that one though was add some water in beforehand. So I'm just going to do that on this one, as I should have on the last one. We live and learn, eh? So now I've added some water. These ones are Autumn Mammoth 2 Snow Star. So again, I'm going to do 3 rows, and hopefully this time, being in the compost, they'll germinate nicely. Now I'm going to sow these slightly thinner, because unlike spring onions, they don't like to bunch. And because they don't like to bunch, that means that I'll end up having to thin them out, possibly. Depends how many germinate, I suppose. So there you go, that's the seed down. And just gently cover it up. Cover up these drills. Notice I'm not putting that much on, just a tiny amount. Don't want too much covering up. And that, we'll pat it down a little bit, will hopefully be successful outdoor grown leeks, rather than the ones I've started off in the greenhouse. I'm just going to water it again. I'm acutely aware that the manure that was in there is very dry. Even though I've managed to knock their new home down, bloody wasps will not leave me alone. I just want them to vacate my cabin. So here's the peas we put in. Peas, then petit pois, then mange tout. And on this side, a mix of nasturtiums and marigolds. Same down this side, with peas on the outside, nasturtiums and marigolds on the inside. Which in theory, that's going to look lovely growing up this. So it looks like the advice I took was correct. Knock the wasp nest down when it's small enough, and you don't have to worry too long about the wasps. They vacated. The squatters have gone. Time for a cuppa before going home.